So not that long ago, my wife and I helped this couple with their marriage preparation. And then on their wedding day, we were at their wedding. I was here and Ann was in the pews. And I did the homily and I witnessed the vows. So I married this couple. And later that evening, we went to the reception. And we ran into this couple that we knew, and we started chatting. And they looked at Ann, and they said, "Oh, we saw you at the wedding." And then, very kind of accusatory, they looked at me and they said, "Where were you? Like, what was your excuse for not being there?" And I was like, is he being serious? And Ann kind of stuck up for me, and she said, "Well, he was in the front. He was the deacon. He was the one who married the couple." And then the guy said, "Oh, I didn't recognize you." You know, this gospel that we just heard, the road to Emmaus, is a very human experience. It's the experience of two people who are feeling very defeated, feeling very discouraged. We had hoped that it was going to turn out this way, and it turned out very differently. Maybe we could ask ourselves, have we ever said something like that? I was hoping this was going to happen, but instead something else happened. For them, they were hoping for political redemption, like an immediate change, a quick solution. And then, when they conclude that that's not how it happened, they're kind of like, well, God is absent. I think for all of us, that can be our temptation too. How many times have we prayed desperately for something, somebody to get well, somebody to conceive a child, for somebody not to pass away, and that doesn't happen? And we might say, God isn't listening to my prayers. God isn't present in this experience. Or, where is God? And the thing is, Jesus doesn't encounter these two gentlemen when they're really strong in their faith. He encounters them when they're confused and discouraged and going the wrong direction. And he comes alongside them, but they don't recognize him. There's something important for us to hear in that. Because what that means is God can be very near to you and to me, and we don't necessarily see it. So then Jesus proceeds to tell them all about salvation history, to present to them the case that, in fact, I have been with you all along, even in moments when it seemed like failure. And then something happens. They invite him in. And when they invite him in, it's then and only then that they recognize who he is. In my ministry, I have heard hundreds of versions of something like this, that in moments where the worst thing imaginable happens, that those were the moments in my life where I grew the most. Or when I'm facing something really almost impossible, I know that God had been preparing me for that moment. and the one that is the most common. When I look back at my life, and I think about those moments that were the darkest, the hardest, the most difficult, I can see now, even though I didn't necessarily see then, that God was walking with me. I know that for many of us, right now might be one of those moments. One of those times when we're discouraged, fearful. Things are not going as planned. We all have those areas of our life where it seems really dark. And so I would propose that you and I invite Jesus into those exact places, those places of darkness in your life. And then expect him to show up and recognize that he is with you. And then allow his presence to make those very dark places a place of encounter, a place of grace, and truly a place of great hope.